Hey guys, I know it's been a while. Unfortunately, I was pretty busy last week and didn't get a chance to record anything. So sorry about that. But in any case, we're back today. Um, I'm trying out some nonsense. So this was kind of brought about by a conversation talking about electrodominance and how we might be able to maximize the effectiveness against of electrodominance. I see a lot of people, well, not as much recently, but when Jace was first spoiled, I saw a lot of people talking about how um, having a singleton electrodominance makes Jace easier to cast. So I just want to clear up any misconceptions on Jace's easiness to cast. The only way Jace is harder to cast than Laboratory Maniac plus Seer Visions is if you have Spoils of the Vaulted and exiled or used previously 3 Pentad Prisms. It's the only way. Otherwise, in order to Lab Maniac, you need 1 extra non-red mana to begin filtering with Pentad Prisms. And if you can filter with 1 Pentad Prism, you can filter with 2 Pentad Prisms. So 1 blue, blue, blue is not any harder than 2 blue, blue, provided you have a sufficient number of Pentad Prisms remaining in your deck. In other, what was I going to say? Oh, the one area where Electrodominance can potentially help is if we have only red mana. So we only have Simian Spirit Guides going into or coming out of an Ad Nauseam. In a situation like that, it might be beneficial to either turn something to blue, or here in this nonsense build, I'm playing 3 Simian Spirit Guides. And kind of relying on Electrodominance to be the 4th one. Sideboard, I think a 1 of Solemnity to potentially tutor with Bring to Light is interesting. I just kind of stuck a gifts package in here. I didn't really have a great reason for that. I just did something. The Chromatic Lanterns are because while the deck can potentially already be weak to Blood Moon, this version, which is not playing any basics at all, is certainly very weak to Blood Moon. I don't know that this is the right land base. I just kind of guessed at some stuff. And so we're playing this not in a competitive league, but a friendly league for today. So we're just going to try it out in a slightly more casual setting. I'd rather not burn 12 tickets when I can burn 8 tickets on something that is in all likelihood a meme. I'm not advocating for this in any way. This deck is probably terrible. I've just messed around with it a little bit in the open play, and it was winning. So we'll see if we're able to keep that up. I missed the league opponent. So I've been not so high on playing too much Ad Naus, online in particular. I kind of feel like everyone is still just jamming Karn into everything they possibly can. It's not that Karn's not beatable, but I'd kind of like to wait for the meta to settle a little bit more before I worry about really trying to sort of optimize an Ad Naus list. It's kind of annoying that I'm gonna have to optimize a list for the open, or I'm sorry, the invitational, and then immediately that's gonna get invalidated because of Modern Horizons coming out. So this hand is pretty good. We can lead on Thoughtseize. We have combo in hand, and we have a Lotus Bloom. So the only thing we're really looking for at this point is a little bit more mana. A 3rd land would be good. So I'm going to Thoughtseize before I suspend the Bloom. This doesn't really matter at all, but whatever. So they have Hazoret, Reality Smasher, and Bloodbraid Elf. They have an Eldrazi Temple. So I guess Reality Smasher probably represents the fastest clock, but Bloodbraid Elf into like potentially a Blood Moon or something, I think represents the highest chance of messing me up. This Reality Smasher is going to be able to come down on turn 3 at earliest if they were to like draw another temple or maybe draw like a Simian Spirit Guide. But in all likelihood, this is going to come down turn 4, so I shouldn't be dying to this Smasher or Hazoret. So I'm going to take the Bloodbraid Elf in order to minimize the chances that they find some piece of interaction for me. And then I will suspend our Lotus Bloom and pass. The worst thing for them to draw would probably be a Thought Knot. Thought Knot would be bad. City of Brass is an excellent draw, so now I am good to combo. I should have thought about playing the City of Brass there in case I might need to like play this Electrodominance as a removal spell. Did they draw Temple Thought Knot? They forgot, I guess. They had 2 draw steps and they hit Temple Thought Knot for the turn 2 Thought Knot. That's actually insane. That's unreal. Well, we'll just, okay. We can just draw a replacement. So I guess the only way we get really screwed over now is if they have extra Thought Knot. Nope, it's a Smasher. So we'll take 9 and then we'll win on my next turn. So this is going pretty well so far. I could Grace on my upkeep there, or I could Nulls on my upkeep there. It doesn't really matter, but whatever. I'll just do it on my main phase. So here I think I'm just probably going to Jace them. It's faster. And they're tapped out, so there's not really any interaction that they can have. So we can Jace them by pitching to Simians, Electrodominance, target them. For 0. Cast a Lotus Bloom. Pitch a Simian, crack for blue. Play a Jace, and then I'm going to mill them to just get a little bit more information. Okay, they have a second Reality Smasher. I would have never guessed. So I need to think about whether or not they're a deck that's going to be playing Blood Moon. If they're a deck playing Blood Moon, I definitely want these Chromatic Lanterns. Blazing Archon might be okay against an Eldrazi deck. I think I will bring in at least a couple of these. And maybe we'll cut like 1 Electrodominance, the Supreme Verdict, which seems sometimes not the best. Well, Supreme Verdict could actually be pretty good. Yeah, whatever. 3 Thoughtseize. Yeah, alright. We'll just try this. Sideboarding strategy here is definitely going to be a bit on the fly. So we will see how that goes. They're definitely like looking through. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say they're probably looking through the revealed cards. Like, what on earth is this person doing? But I guess, friendly leagues, more brews. Red-green Eldrazi is not exactly something standard. This hand is a little bit slow. It can definitely combo. Like, we have a lot of variety in mana here. I'd be able to combo on 6, and if I were to draw some stuff, I could potentially either stall them with white cards or draw into some acceleration. So I think I will try this. Let's see what they do. Mana Dork. Okay. So Wargate is a very good draw. It means that actually, because I have so many tap lands, I'm not sure that I'm actually going to be able to kill them on turn 4. But if I draw well, maybe. I think that's just too slow. So next turn I can play a Vivid Land. And then I can play the City and then Wargate out of Bloom. I think if I draw an untapped land, I win on turn 4. Smasher. Okay, that's fine. Battery Shaper, that's also fine. So I'm almost certainly taking 8 next turn from Smasher plus Reshaper. So I kind of just have to hope I don't die in 2 turns. So I'd be taking 8, 8, 16 total. Maybe they don't have the 5th land or the the 3rd land, the 5th mana. No, they do. Of course they do. So this is Smasher. So we'll take 8. I have to really just hope it's not 2nd Smasher next turn. I can't really afford to play around that. I'm actually, because I have to play the City of Brass, I'm even just going to be dead to Bolt, which is a little disheartening. I don't think I have another line though. I have to get a Bloom into play. White, green, blue. So I mean, maybe because I have so many 0 drops in my deck, I could have thought about keeping that Electrodominance. I don't know how I feel about that. Smasher would be very bad. No Smasher. No Thought on it either. Thought on at least gives us a chance to top deck, but we're still very likely dead there. So I have white. So the thing is, I'm going to have to crack this for white, white, white. Generally, the play pattern is to crack for white, white, white with Lotus Bloom when you have Bring to Light Angel's Grace, because that way at least it lets you pay 2 mana. But then I only have 4 colors for Bring to Light, so I need to either draw an untapped land or a Simian Spirit Guide to just outright kill them. Or just, I don't think Wargate does it. That's annoying. Certainly annoying. So here I think I'm going to scry and then just Grace to Fog, and hopefully I can get to an unlife. I'm not going to cast these, or no, I'm not going to suspend these visions. They don't matter suspended. They might matter unsuspended. Next turn, if I draw an untapped land, I also, well, no, because I'm going to have to go to 1. So this City of Brass is going to be off. Basically, I have to draw on life, I think. I think that's my only out. Or I could just draw another Grace to buy more time. I should have played it with the City of Brass, but that's not a huge deal. It's not like I'm doing anything else. It's just for bluffing. So let's see if they have anything else. Maybe they don't. We draw Wargate. Does Wargate do anything here? I'd need to Wargate for 3 to go get an on life, so that doesn't work. Wargating for a land doesn't do anything. And I can't bring to light because these are both tap lands. Alright, so we're dead here. Right, so is there, oh wait, I didn't even have Verdict in my deck. I forgot I boarded out Verdict. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna run this back and see what happens. I got some Thought Seizes. I got some combo pieces. Well, we'll see. I should maybe think about having one Pact in this deck. I don't know how I feel about that. I think in traditional builds of Ad Nauseam, Pact Mitigation is actually really bad right now. I'm not a huge Pact fan, but yeah, I'll keep this. I have lands. I can spend a thing. I can scry. So we'll scry first. Just looking for one of our 8 combo pieces. Is Thoughtseize good enough to keep? I think it actually likely does not matter. We need to, we'll play our Vivid Creek next turn, try and play the Unlife the turn after that, and hopefully I will have drawn into something that will let me win by then. Vivid Creek. Thought Knot would be annoying here. Hopefully it's just Matter Reshaper. No, it's Thought Knot. Of course they have turn 2 Thought Knot again. Why wouldn't they, you know? Okay, Bring to Light is a good draw. Now I just need a combo piece, like a white card, and then we're in pretty good shape. I actually have so much mana that even an Ad Nauseam might work, because I might be able to Bring to Light for an Angel's Grace. I'm going to have 10, 11 mana. Yeah, so we have... Actually, does second Bring to Light work? Probably not, because I'm probably choked on color. Because I have the 2 blooms. It's second Angel's Grace is not even, or second Bring to Light is not even that far off. But I have 11 top decks that should win me the game on the spot here. Less if they blow up like a Lotus Bloom or something with like Nature's Claim. If they didn't do anything, I think one of these is getting blown up. And they have the Flashback Gloat Grudge for the second bloom. That's disgusting. I mean, that's... Well, you know, sometimes they have things. I think creatures and sorcery, right? So I think I likely have to Value Gnaws on the end step, which is going to be bad because it's going to be Value Gnaws from 8. This Gnaws doesn't do it. Oh my god, it's going to be Value Gnaws from 5. I'm going to have to burn the Simian to do it. This is rough. Problem is I'm like 2 cards away the other way. I can see what I draw, but is it just, oh, they just have everything? Sure. So now, pretty much my only out is top decking on life. Okay, that is certainly a start. So I mean, it might be alive. If they don't blow up on life, even if they have bolt, bolt's not good enough because they only have 9 damage after a bolt. Thought Knot is actually not good enough either. Well, they could take the Simian. It's almost not good enough. It is good enough. Extra haste doesn't matter. It only matters if they also have bolt as their last card. Okay. So I think we win here. I have 2 Simians and a land in the deck, I believe. Here I will kill them with Lightning Storm just because they have untapped mana. What did I exile a second Simian? Oh, no, it's on life from the Thought Knot, right. Okay, so we will play land for turn. You saw my mouse movement there. I was going to play a reflecting pool and then got paranoid that I might not think about how a reflecting pool is going to work. Here, I guess I should Electrodominance out a Lotus Bloom first. Just get all of the mana. And then I can chain out another Electrodominance for another Lotus Bloom. Basically what I'm doing is I'm getting to the point where I Thoughtseize before Lightning Storm, just for maximum safety. Actually, if I'm doing that, I should really, I can crack this for red, but then I should really Thoughtseize here first. I don't need another. Okay, so that doesn't do anything. And now Lightning Storm them. Holding control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Always yes, always yield. I pick always yes to just ensure that I can never be caught by them sneakily redirecting a land and then me choosing no to a bunch of the rest of the lands. This way it just means that is not possible. Alright, sweet. So they got incredibly lucky, and then we got lucky enough that it didn't matter. So that was a weird game. But and just having 8 effective copies of Ad Nauseam with Bring to Light is pretty nice. All right, match 2. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so I have Bloom, I have Combo in hand, and I have some lands. This seems great. I will keep this. I'm debating whether I lead with the Vivid Creek or the Darkslick Shores. I guess I'll lead with the Vivid Creek. I don't know. This would let me No, but I need to see 2 cards before I'd Electrodominance anyway, and leading on the Vivid Creek might give them some information that things are not exactly as they seem when we see a Suspended Lotus Bloom. So this is likely War like Lantern or something like that. Thoughtseize was an excellent draw. Just ensure that whatever nonsense they're doing. Well, okay, it's not that, it is Neoform. So they were actually pretty close to just winning here. I guess I take, well, do I take the Allosaurus Rider or do I take the Neoform? I guess I'll take the Neoform, because between Pact and the 3 other copies of Allosaurus Rider, they have 7 copies. Between the Neoform and Eldritch Evolution, they have 7 copies. So I'm not reducing their likelihood on copies either way, but if I take the Neoform, then they need a 3rd mana, and they can choose to spend the Edge of Autumn to go fetch a 3rd mana. But then that means they don't have another green card for the Allosaurus Rider, and they might have to pitch both of their Nourishing Shoals. So taking the Neoform here handicaps them a little bit more. I could also take the Seismic Assault, but I think typically they play Noxious Revival, so I think that's a bit of a trap. I also think just having Angel's Grace up against this deck almost surely wins if they're not playing Lab Maniac. I'm not 100% sure about that, but like, I'm not really sure how they beat Angel's Grace. Because they have to tap down, don't they? Alright, well, in any case, I'll scry. We'll bottom that. So they play a Temple, sure. Thoughtseize really coming up big here, definitely saving us in a way that Pact wouldn't have been able to do, notably. So I think because they played the Temple, do I know the whole hand or do I have one unknown? So they played the second coast. So they have one unknown. It shouldn't matter. I'm just going to Grace Nauseam here. I guess there's no reason to show the Bring to Light. Although they're going to see Bring to Lights when I reveal my deck. But so not having Pacts against Neoform is a little bit tricky. Pact lets you play like the stupid game of if they pact for like an Allosaurus Rider and then you pact their Neoform, they're just going to die to their pact before you'll die to your pact, so you get to use your pacts pretty aggressively. So since they may have drawn like an Autochron Worm, I'm just going to Jace them here. And I guess I'm going to Thoughtseize them before I do that, just in case they drew something that might be relevant. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter. I'm just going to like, I don't know, I'll take the Edge of Autumn because that can cycle. Right, it cycles sacrifice a land, so like maybe they'd be able to draw into their Autochron Worm if I didn't take that. So here we're kind of rendering their Nourishing Shoals useless, which is nice. Mill them, get a little bit more information about what might be in their deck. They're playing Serum Visions, so that is actually relevant information because not every list plays Serum Visions. I think a lot of the lists are playing that the blue-green hybrid one that digs 5. Can they beat a Solemnity? Probably. Can they beat an Iona? Probably not. Iona on green just ends them. Yeah, I think Iona on green is just lights out. So I could play a bigger reanimation package or a smaller reanimation package. Let's just play some Gifts on Givens. And what else? I don't think any of my other cards are good enough here. I'm debating what I want to cut. Like, do I just want to cut, like, Wargate is perhaps a little slow. And then I could cut some Visions. And just be like, alright, I'm just going to draw cards that do things. I like that plan. Electrodominance is perhaps a bit worse if I'm cutting some Visions. Realize that I have no idea what I'm doing with this sideboard. I just threw some cards in. We'll see what happens. So this hand is pretty bad. We only have 1 mana. We do have a Thoughtseize, which is nice, but I don't really think it's going to end up doing anything, so I will mulligan this. Oh, I should have cut the Supreme Verdict. I forgot about that. This hand is also pretty bad. I'm going to mulligan this. This I'll keep. That's tempting, actually. I don't think I can, though. I just need mana. Basically, what I'm going to be testing with this hand is, does Angel's Grace just beat them? We'll see. Actually, not if they're playing Seismic Assault, right? Because they'll be able to save a land and then throw it at me. So it only beats them if they're playing Lightning Storm. And we did see Seismic Assault last game, so this is not that great. Drawing the Lotus Bloom was pretty good. It at least gives us a chance to be in this game. Like now if I draw land, maybe we can get there. Or we could just be dead here, but you know, we'll see. So what did they pitch? They pitched Eldritch Evolution, Chancellor of the Green. Is there Neoforming? Yeah. Okay, so they have Shoal Worm. Draw their deck. I question how many lands they even play, right? It's not that many. Seismic Assault, 2 per land. They run more than 20 lands? I'd kind of actually be surprised. I guess maybe they have the Summit Sprint. And we'll see what they do with it. So draw 2 more piles. I think Summit Sprint would be the scariest thing for them to have. But if they're playing the Serum Visions, maybe they're playing an older list that doesn't play that. So I'm slightly hopeful. Seismic Assault, sure. What they got there? I don't know, it's just their other Simian Spirit cards still being exiled. I mean, maybe. Maybe we have a chance. Looks like they're discarding lands first. They must have. No, there's no way, right? Oh wait, because it's 10 lands, 11, 12. Yeah, they certainly have enough lands. For some reason, I was thinking they'd have to discard like 20 lands. I'm like, well, this isn't gonna work, but it is gonna work. 'Cause they just clearly have enough lands. We'll see what they discard at the end of their turn. I think they're just gonna save some lands and then we die, but like maybe. If I had a second Grace, we'd actually be able to kill them, but we don't. So it's unfortunate. That's irrelevant. Ah, yes, the Hardcast Allosaurus Rider. Classic. And Hardcast another Allosaurus Rider. Exiling Neoforms, Tell Gilead Justice. What does that do? Destroy an artifact, scry 2. Card's terrible. There's no way that maybe they actually can't afford to have it be Nature's Claim because the 4 life matters enough. There's no way that is real though. So here I'm mostly staying in this because A, they might mess up, and B, because I want to see if they're playing Noxious Fireball. Okay, so they are, so discarding Seismic Assault, not an ideal plan. Potentially, well, I was debating whether I should just try and like F6 through my turn as quickly as possible to get it back to their turn. I think they will likely not fall for that though. Shimmer of Possibility. So yes, they're keeping lands in their hand. They're not an idiot. Okay, we lose. Is there anything I want to change? Wargate's kind of slow. They don't just... Well, we saw artifact removal. We didn't see enchantment removal. It might actually just fold Solemnity. And then... I guess I'll just keep the rest of this like it is. This is slow and not really great. This is also pretty bad. They kept 7. This hand doesn't do anything until it plays it on life turn 3. If they kept a 7, I think this is very unlikely to win. This I'll try. At least it has a plan. I don't think it's a particularly good plan, but maybe. It kind of relies on them bricking, which if they kept a 7, I mean, now maybe they kept like a cantrip 7 and it won't quite get there, but well, no. Well, I mean, obviously they could miss, but maybe we're just dead. They didn't have to pitch any pacts, which is slightly concerning. They're pacting for Worm, certainly. Yeah, we're dead. Only got turn 1'd. Stack is more consistent than maybe I've given it credit for. They had a turn 2 had I not disrupted it game 1. They had a turn 2 game 2, and they have a turn 1 game 3. I haven't played against it yet, so this is the first time I'm playing against it. But I've watched it be played. I've seen it kind of in action. This is I'm trying to think about whether or not this is an anomaly and it's not actually this consistent, or if it actually is this consistent. I'm trying to like compare it card by card to Griselbrand and see if it has a chance of being more consistent than Griselbrand. If we think about Griselbrand really only has 4 Gorios, and then their secondary way of getting Griselbrand into play is through the Breach, and that costs a whole bunch more mana. So their fastest possible draws, I think, are happening with significantly less frequency than the fastest possible draws of Neoform, because Neoform is a 2-card combo. It's a 0 mana card and a 2 mana card. All you have to do is cast the 2 mana card, well, a 2 or 3 mana card and a 0 mana card. And if you cast the 2 or 3 mana card on turn 2, I mean the combo being Summoner's Pact or Allosaurus Rider plus Neoform Eldritch Evolution, and it's not like it's not like there's chances that they like don't have enough green cards or whatever, but and right now I'm hoping that their Seismic Assault's like in the bottom card of their library or something. We'll see. It's probably pretty unlikely. If they haven't done anything though, maybe that is slightly promising. They'd have 4 Simians, Morphos. I think I need it to be exactly the bottom card, otherwise they'll have enough mana. This is at least indicating that they probably don't have Seismic Assault yet, though. Yeah, because they can quad Morphos. Oh no, they have Noxious. No, Noxious doesn't. They have Edge of Autumn. No, they can get to it. As long as they play right, they'll get to it. Maybe they don't have quad Morphos though. No, well, no, they haven't. Okay, well they win. The really disheartening realization I had right there is Neoform just seems like it's doing what we're doing as Ad Nauseam better, which is tragic. They're just being a 2-card combo deck where you have like 8 copies of each card, and instead of needing to ramp, they don't need to ramp. That's it. Yeah, I'll keep this. If they were to just play like a bit more interaction, then, and I guess Ad Nauseam is better at fighting through hate in all likelihood. Legion Loyalists are against 8 whack, I think. Probably. Okay, City of Breast not terrible because it means I'll get to play the Unlife next turn. But now I just need a Nauseam or a Bring to Light. Light up the stage with the exile. Bolt, light up the stage. Okay, so I mean, Hopefully they hit like lands off this. Another Legion Loyalist, sure. So that sequencing strikes me as questionable. They played the Legion Loyalist post combat. I didn't see their hand, so I don't get to say for sure. But I would imagine that they likely had better sequencing available. Phyrexian on life hopefully should be pretty good here. I think I'm not going to suspend this Lotus Bloom. It gives me something I could put into play with an Electrodominance. So that's, I think, one of the main differences between this variation of Ad Naus and like more traditional Ad Naus lists. Like in a more traditional Ad Naus list, if we weren't against the discard deck, we would likely just suspend the Lotus Bloom here. You have to be very sure that the game is not going to go through more turns for it to be worth it to not spend as a bluff. Usually not spending as a bluff is pretty bad. Occasionally you get value out of it, but very rarely. And when in doubt, you should probably suspend in those situations. Bushwhacker, Fanatical Firebrand. I would be surprised if they could 12 me next turn, but maybe. Maybe, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then if they have like 9, 10, maybe. So here, well, I drew Bring to Light, so that's pretty perfect. Let me just make sure my colors of mana work. So here I can make well, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I only have 4 colors of mana. So I really need another land. This is kind of the downside of Lotus Bloom in some of these situations, I guess. What I can do is I can just play Wargate. I think it is very unlikely that I will be dead. And then I can kill them on my next turn. Now, they might have... Wait, what? Oh, there's my Lotus Blooms. I could have thought about Wargating for a land instead of Lotus Bloom. I haven't really considered that as a line of play as much. Maybe I should have. In fact, I certainly should have. I didn't, truth be told, I didn't even realize you could Wargate for lands. But we'll see. I mean, they're mono reds, so they have no way of removing this on life. I would be shocked if they had like a Braid or something as main deck artifact removal. So they can search this Bushwhacker, put us below 0, but then they're going to die on their turn. So they're putting us to 0. I mean, that was like the best they could do. I'll make 3 white. So blue, black, red. I'll make red off here. So then this should be blue, black, green, white, red. Yeah. Blue, black. And then here I can make green. And we win. Exciting. Okay, so against a mono red deck, 8 whack, Solemnity seems like it would be a hard lock. Thoughtseize seems not great. And then Chromatic Lanterns to play around Blood Moon seem at least sort of okay. Maybe I'll cut a Visions for being slow. I don't know if 8 whack plays Blood Moon. This is the downside of like playing friendly leagues. You just play against straight nonsense often enough that it's like, why? But you know, I'll keep this. I can suspend a Visions. Hopefully I Wargate on 3. I don't know. I don't think it's guaranteed to get me there, but I mean, the vision suspended might not even have time to come off suspend. I might just be dead before that, but oh no, they didn't all. Well, we'll see. I should have thought about that more. I didn't really think about the land that I played. The damage might matter. We'll see what they do. Mogwar Marshal. Alright, that's, I feel like, one of the less scary things they could have done. I need a land badly. Okay, that's good. So now it just means I need to live at least 3 life, and then I get to play Unlife. And if I get to play Unlife, well, I don't win because I need another turn to play Wargate. I need a couple things to go okay. So far, this looks not hugely threatening, though, hopefully. Light up the stage, just like whatever. I can bolt Mog Fanatic. Are they going to bolt me? Oh, they're just playing Fanatic. Sure, that's fine. So here, definitely just playing the Unlife. And then hopefully we survive this turn above 0, and then I can just Wargate, and then oh, that looks like a Blood Moon. What the hell is that? Oh, I've seen this card before. Bushwhack. What the hell? Okay. Okay, that's lots of things. Well, I guess I need to draw Angel's Grace. Does Electrodominance do anything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So even if I like kill the Bushwhacker, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I could kill an elemental, I'll be okay, but I don't think I can kill an elemental. I could Wargate for either a land or a Lotus Bloom, neither of which does anything. We're just dead. Okay. That got us. Do I want my sideboard gifts package? I mean, I feel like Iona Elishnorn or Iona Blazing Archon. Probably Elishnorn better than Blazing Archon. And then Burial Rites, and then I could just like run some gifts. It's got to be better than like slow do nothing cards, right? Like, it's got to be equivalent to Verdict. It's got to be better than Visions. Cut like a Wargate. Oh, Wargate's pretty good though. Cut like an Electrodominance or 2. And maybe one of these Chromatic Lanterns. Try it like this. So we have some mana, we have Bring to Light. Bring to Light casts Gifts Ungiven, which means that we get a... So I'd be able to cast Bring to Light on 4, which means I would have a turn 5 Elishnorn or Iona, which is likely too slow. I think I kind of have to keep this and hope I draw a white card, I think, though. Definitely don't want that. I forgot if I... No, I didn't. Oh, no, I did board out the verdicts. That was maybe dumb. That was actually definitely dumb. So my best draw at this point is probably on life. Because I think I'm going to be under too much of a clock. Grace would also be decent, I suppose. But no, Grace wouldn't be that decent. Okay, so here I can play the Reflecting Pool, play a Chromatic Lantern. Basically, I have to say that I'm not going to die in 2 attack steps, which seems unlikely. Goblin Chieftain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm taking 10, going to 7. I need to top deck here. I should have left in the Supreme Verdict. I don't know why I didn't. I guess Bring to Light, it's instant sorcery or creature. I should really have this tuned to include some sort of creature that would be a sweeper here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess I can kill the Goblin King with Lightning Storm. Is that my line? That's my line. All right. And now if I top deck, I still might just be dead here. Like I'm dead to Bolt plus the Fanatic Ping, so I'm certainly dead here. Yeah, okay. Well, that was a bit unfortunate. They kind of had like a really explosive turn in the second game. Devastating Summons? There's no way that card can be playable, even in that deck. I mean, I guess I'm playing unplayable cards today too, so I don't really have any business to complain. I guess this is what friendly leagues are. So we lost to a lot of nuts out of Neoform. We beat RG Eldrazi, and then we lost to 8 whack. Should definitely not have boarded out the Verdict. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just like, yeah, it's probably slow. And I guess if I Verdict there, like, I don't have a follow-up game plan, but at least it gives me the chance to top deck something. It seems pretty good. I'll keep it. Against Mountain, it seems less good. Oh, everyone's just running 8 whack. 8 whack today. Unlife is a good draw. Do I need that? Then next turn I can play the Temple. Yeah, I do want this. Because next turn I can play the Temple. The turn after that I go City Unlife. And then the turn after that I have 3 lands, the Bloom, and the Thoughtseize, and I should be able to win, I think. Or I'm sorry, the 3 lands, the Bloom, and the Simian. I should be able to win there. So that gives me 5 different colors. Burning Tree Emissary. Yep. Do they have a Bushwhacker? Do they have multiple Burning Tree Emissaries? Goblin Guide. Alright, that's not that scary. Well, it's still a little bit scary. I get a land off this at least. I'm not actually sure if I should cast this Thoughtseize. Basically, I should cast the Thoughtseize if I will keep that. If I think there's a card in their hand that represents more than 2 damage, it probably is. Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, next turn they Bolt Bushwhacker. Bushwhacker represents 5 damage. I'll take the Bushwhacker. The Bolt represents 3. that was good. I guess friendly leagues are the land of 8 whack. Okay, city was good. Can play Unlife here. Not gonna be dead. It's not like they can have a Boris Charm to go with the bolt. Kind of surprised they wouldn't have bolted on end step there, but whatever. Oh, they just drew a kicked Bushwhacker, sure. Doesn't matter though, it's too late now. Notably, it was important to not play this on life using the Simian and hold up the Grace, even though that seems like the type of play you might want to make. I'd be down a color of mana if I did that for Bring to Light. So like here, when you only need Bring to Light and don't also need a white card in the same turn, Bloom is only +1 mana, which is potentially a little dicey. Their last card is Bolt. Sure, I'm at 3 Infect. So here I have black, white, green, blue, red, or something. It's fine, yeah. I'll exile. I'll make blue here. I'll make green, white, black. Hold 3. And we win. Cool. So what my conclusions against 8 whack last time were Gifts is actually probably decent. They definitely just don't have an answer to Solemnity. Iona ends the game if they don't have too many things on board already. Alashorn probably ends the game if they do. Alashorn probably a little bit better than Blazing Archon, because Blazing Archon lets them like play their Mog Fanatics. Alashorn turns off Mog Fanatics. Blazing Archon turns off Devastating Summons where Alashorn doesn't though, although I don't actually think that that's a typical choice in 8 whack. Thoughtseize seems questionable. Visions seems slow. Chromatic Lantern seems decent. We can shave some Electrodominance. Well, should we? Yeah, we'll shave some Electrodominance. Just try and like run it like this. Wargate being a pretty good card. What does this do? Pretty sure this does nothing. Does this do? Not great, but I'll keep it. Grace. I think I'm on a gifts plan here, so the Grace is maybe not ideal. I think I'm likely to just die here though. I think the gifts plan is actually horrible in this deck. Getting the 2 gifts means if I live to turn 4, I'm potentially in okay shape. Maybe like an Electrodominance for 2 if I like pick up another, or like for 1 if I pick up another red land would let me get there. Well, we're taking some damage, 5 of it to be precise. Wargate, not great here. Actually, I guess maybe there's an argument. Well, if I had kept the Grace, I wouldn't have seen the second bloom on turn 1. The Grace would only have been good if I knew that I had the second bloom on turn 1. So the Grace when I saw it was bad, and I should have bottomed it. So they have 4. At least they're not playing more creatures. That's something. Simian Spirit Guide means I can Wargate to like ping something. So I'll pass. And probably ping a Foundry Street Denizen on my turn. The fact that they haven't played anything is a little weird. What could they have? I'm not sure. Gifts ungiven. So here we'll do red, red, 1. Electrodominance that. 1. Take 3. Next turn we're going to attempt to oh, is it a second Goblin Grenade? Do they just have... Well, that's nuts. So I think I need to have more consistent ramp. Which means I guess trying to leave this engine in. Well, on the play though, maybe not. Yeah, we're just gonna try it like this. I feel like this is a matchup where I really am feeling the lack of Pentad Prism. Don't need a second on life. Let's see what they hit us for. Ad Nauseam. Okay, that's a good draw. Hopefully we're in an okay spot here. Just play the on life next turn and then win the turn after. Yeah, so they'd have to be killing us this turn for any of this to matter. I think we're 100% here. It's like next turn it doesn't matter because they're just dead the next turn. And like instant speed artifact destruction doesn't matter. They're mono red, so what enchantment removal could they possibly have? None. Something like Ratchet Bomb doesn't matter. I guess they could just do enough damage to kill me. That would be insane if they had like 6. They have like Bolt, Goblin Grenade in hand, and then I just die. That's possible. Now it's not possible. They were just Simian Spirit Guide Goblin Grenade me, I think I would lose my mind. Okay. That was close. Closer than it has any right to be, considering we're playing against 8 whack. Cool. Alright, so we're 2-2 so far. Let's try and make it a 3-2. I think 2 and 3. I don't ever play friendly leagues, but I think 2 and 3 in a friendly league gets me my tickets back at least. So I will consider this potentially a success so far. We'll see. We'll see when it shows me what I win. I guess it doesn't get me. It just gets me the play point equivalent to enter a friendly league, which seems worse because then I need to like play another friendly league and then win enough to get into a competitive league off of it or something. Unless I forget how many play points I have at the moment. Whatever. This hand is trash. This hand is not good, but at least keepable. Will I take a Thoughtseize. Am I in the draw or on the play? I'm on the play. I can't afford the Thoughtseize. I think I just need mana and black card too badly. I can Wargate for a bloom, which is nice. Electrodominance gives me like a little piece of interaction. I will keep third land. I should maybe think about running the one Solemnity main. Just like see if that can be a hard lock. Interesting to see what they take. Will they take the Wargate or will they take like On Life or Grace? They mauled to, did they also maul to 6? Oh no, we both did maul. Yeah, we both mauled to 6. So I'm thinking of swap Thoughtseize is 8 rack, maybe. That's what my gut tells me. Taking Electrodominance is interesting. It's the card I cared about least. But maybe the fact that they've taken it means I should care about it more. I'm gonna still play this city to like hide information about what my draw was. If I draw like another fast land, it's not too big of a deal because like I'm playing this on like my next 2 plays are 3s. Yeah, we can ditch the Angel's Grace. Okay. The rack, sure. I'm actually shocked that they took the Electrodominance. That can't be right. Can it be? Here, I think I just want to get the Unlife out, probably. And then next turn, I play the Wargate for a bloom, and then I just sit here and try and rip a. Like if they discard, I'll discard the Simian. Lily. Oh no. Unfortunately, I have no non-basic, or I have no. This was a flaw in deck construction. Yeah, we're failing to find. That's bad. Fortunately, racks don't matter against us. Like, the clock that a rack imposes is worthless. So we'll go white, blue. Oh, I can't even do this? Nope, I can't. I have to pass. Reflecting Pool. Not being God tier land. And maybe they just Field of Ruin me again and have nothing. I'd be okay with that. Yeah, I should definitely have a basic or 2 in here. I didn't really think about it that much. It's like, yeah, you know, we'll stick some lands in and sure I can cast my spells. We are suffering for it right now. Knowingly, the rack is actually damaged, it's not loss of life. Shaking Affliction, however, is loss of life. I think we're in pretty bad shape here. I'm taking 36, 9. What do I need to draw? I don't even know what a good draw is here. That's like, can't be that. And even if they draw a land, they can just retrace the Raven's crime. I'm pretty sure I'm dead here. Hopefully they just draw like all 3 drops. All their lilies and no lands. This next turn I'm taking 2 damage unless I get discarded. Like I have to hope that they just like brick for like 5 turns while I get to play some lands. This is so bad. Like I can't play this Vivid Creek. I'm actually just dead anyway. It's 1 each. Okay, so we learned, what did we learn? Like they probably can't beat a Solemnity. Like Iona Jingataxis is also probably pretty good. And having 1 card combos is also probably pretty good. Thoughtseize seems not great. Electrodominance, which has to like pair with something, seems maybe not great here. Try it like this. Oh, I should leave in a couple of these for Ancestral Visions. There's no way I'm cutting Ancestral Visions though. I'll cut like a couple Grace. It's probably better. Yeah, Ancestral Vision seems like a reasonable thing to have against this deck, but being down a game against 8 rack, or wait, yeah, 8 rack. I guess it's probably like 10 rack now with Davriel's. So we played against 8 whack, 8 whack, 8 rack, Red Green Eldrazi, and Neoform. Alright. What a collection of decks. Yeah, I'll keep. This could be bad, but like maybe they take the Adnals first. And then I get to like bring to light. Try it. And mulled 6, so that's good. Yeah, I definitely need to just like stick a couple basics in here. I guess probably Plains would be the best basic. Second best basic. Not sure. Could be. It's probably not Swamp actually. Is it? Is it Forest? Might be Forest. Timing on waiting for the Rax trigger is stupidly annoying. Hopefully they like, when they discard me, they take Lightning Storm because they're like, ooh, Lightning Storm. That's a card that matters. Lightning Storm doesn't matter though. The card that matters here is Bring to Light. And then the second most mattering card is Simian Spirit Guide. I think they will take Lightning Storm over Simian Spirit Guide though, probably. Well, will they? Maybe not. They might read based on the fact that I just have some more lands that Simian Spirit Guide is more important to me than the Lightning Storm. We'll see. I'm having a hard time with this decision. They played the Vault this turn, right? Yeah. So hopefully this should mean no more discard spell this turn. So that's good. Scariest thing would probably be Field of Ruin coming up next turn. Hopefully they just don't have Field of Ruin. I can fade it one more turn. I guess it eats most of their turn. Like, they'd have to have another discard spell, but probably do. They play a million discard spells. They had the Soulweed. Oh, they're Pithing Needle for Lightning Storm. Sure, that doesn't matter. So they didn't have the Soulweed, they just had the other answer. In which case, why on earth did this take them that long? Opponent is Glacier. Confirmed. Best draw. I don't know. Maybe a life. Should have probably played the Reflecting Pool first. Wonder if they'll take the Bring Flight or if they'll take an Ad Nauseam. Probably attack with the Mutavault. Okay, they took the different card. Sure. Mutavault gets in. Sure. Best draw would be Gifts Ungiven. It's not a Gifts Ungiven. I'm gonna play it though because I don't want that. This way I can value Ad Nauseam next turn. Or next end step. I just need to fade Field of Ruin one more turn. That's fine. And value Ad Nauseam is actually going to be pretty risky given what's in my deck. But there's a real way to avoid it here, I think. So I think if they were to uptick, I would value Ad Nauseam here. At least I know the Jin-Gitaxias is on the bottom, so that's something. This is probably just enough. Don't want to like get myself killed to the Mutavault plus the damage from this. I'll discard probably a tap land. And I'll sacrifice the Pain land. And we'll discard, I guess, the Bring to Light. Best draw would be, I guess, maybe Electrodominance, so I can Electrodominance out this Lotus Bloom and then kill them. Snorak doing nothing here. That's good. Lotus Bloom also doing nothing. It's not quite as good. Scry with the Temple. Definitely bottom that. Not going to suspend these blooms. Suspending the blooms doesn't matter. I'll probably pitch one to Lily. So they drew a land. That doesn't matter. So we're going to win this game. Although I used one Simeon, I have two Electrodominance in my deck. Yeah, I can't. I was like thinking about cutting Electrodominances. I can't really afford to do that. So I will be able to Simeon, Electrodominance, make red, Electrodominance, and then Jace. So I'll be okay. Grace. 3, 4, 5. Naws. They have no cards in hand, so nothing they can do here is particularly threatening because they can do nothing. I guess they can legally animate their Mutavault. That's something. Alright, so, whatever. We'll target Lily with an Electrodominance for 0. Cast a Bloom. Make red. Electrodominance for 0 again. Cast another Bloom. Make blue. Make Jace. And Milieu, see. Your 2 field difference. Okay. So takeaways. Electrodominance, probably better than I initially gave it credit for in this matchup. Wargate maybe a little worse. Let's try that. Wargate's kind of slow. It is just the Lotus Bloom, but like Lotus Bloom is important in every matchup, but Lotus Bloom is important in this matchup just because like the way we lose this is kind of like game 1 where we just like don't get enough stuff onto the table. Solemnity is completely unplayable. I forgot that Lily ult will just destroy me. They chose to be on the draw. Okay, I mean they are 8-rack, but still, I think that's questionable against a combo deck that you might think is playing. Oh no, they didn't see ley lines. They would have seen ley lines. I'll discard Solemnity here. So let's see. Grace is bad. So next turn I'm looking to unlife. So I'll discard Grace if they were to like smallpox would be bad. If they were to retrace Raven's Crime, definitely discarding that. The next thing I would discard if they retrace again will be this Bring to Light. That might seem kind of strange, but like I'm putting myself in the position to just like top deck as well as I possibly can. No, don't need to do that. You can just tap for black, and this can make white. It's like now, and Bring to Light doesn't do it on its own. Although Bring to Light would let me Gifts Ungiven, which is decent. Shaking Electroflexion is mostly irrelevant. And it's not alongside Mutavault because the Mutavaults will provide a clock. But now I'm just looking to rip Naws. Land is not terrible. Gifts is quite good. Although it's not enough on its own. They brought in Nihil Spellbomb. Gifts is no longer an option. I maybe should have avoided that out knowing they're bringing Grave Hate. I just assumed the Grave Hate would be surgical, but it's definitely not going to be surgical online. I don't really know why I thought it would be surgical. I would have liked to see some Ancestral Visions at some point against 8-rack. Come on. They're cycling their Nile. That's aggressive. That might mean they have extra Grave Hate, or it means they're a crazy person. Sure. Discard it. Doesn't really matter. Rack. Sure. I think they're actually insane. Why would you cycle the Nile Spellbomb? I'm going to hold the Unlife in hand. They're not going to be able to get rid of the Unlife I have in play. This hopefully represents less damage from the rack, or it gives them like something that they have to discard. Still just looking to rip an Ad Nauseam. I have the interesting dilemma is, if I saw an Ancestral Visions, would I suspend it? I think I probably would. But it's not actually immediately clear that I should, because I'm kind of on a pretty quick clock here. I take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like, I'm about to go below 0. Not this turn, but next turn. And then it's only like 2 turns. Oh, well, we win. Sweet. So I probably should have. It's negative 100. This is because I'm playing so many random high cost things. So I probably should have boarded the graveyard package back out once they saw it in game 2. You know, whatever. 1, 2. Cool. So we got 80 play points and a treasure chest. I guess you got like 40 play points for 2 and 3. I don't actually know. I never play friendly leagues. Anyway, so that was a 3-2 with this nonsense Ad Nauseam list in a friendly league. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm trying something out. I think definitely I needed some basics in this mana base. We saw Ancestral Visions basically never. I think the gifts plan is kind of interesting, but I think it might have been better to just have like 5 CMC creature threats I could go get with Bring to Light. Like the one of Godhead and the one of Cataclysmic Gearhulk were a nod to that, but not really something that came up in any of the matches I played. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting list. We got to see the power of Wargate a couple times. We definitely got to see the power of Bring to Light just as additional copies of Ad Nauseam. That was pretty sweet. Thoughtseize did a bit of work. And All-Star Lotus Bloom carrying the team. So yeah, cool. I might mess around more with this at some point. We'll see. But for now, take care. I guess I'll try and get something posted tomorrow as well. I'm still feeling like playing a bit of Legacy, but I might just go back to kind of playing a more normal Nause list. I do need to start thinking about the Envy and lists I might want to play for that. So take care. Good night.